I am here to talk about Kabir and other Bhakt poets. And I would like to start with a little and very recent experience. Last evening, when we were all listening to wonderful performances, I just went out for a couple of minutes. And to be very frank, I was trying to fight my performance anxiety. I was a bit concerned that I have to speak tomorrow. I wanted to think, to organize my thoughts, and so on. So I just went out and I was moving around in that dimly lit, almost deserted area. And all of a sudden, I happened to look up like this. And I realized, oh my God, moon looks like that. That kind of moon is hardly visible in Delhi these days. So I was looking at moon, and for a moment, for a very fleeting moment, I experienced what Einstein once described as cosmic wonder. The wonder at being a very insignificant, very tiny, yet purposeful part of this endless creation. अनंत के विस्तार में आप हैं, निहायत हकीर आपकी हस्ती है, फिर भी उस हस्ती के भी कुछ मानी है. This feeling I got for a fleeting moment, and I got my opening sentences for this evening clear in my mind. Because what we are going to start with is a celebration of the divinity or the universe itself, the divinity which permeates each and every iota of this universe. And therefore, when someone is asked to perform a proper arti, the poetry springs out spontaneously. And what a poetry! The poetry of the highest order. And I'm pretty sure I need not name the author of this famous poem, at least in the city of Amritsar.
सो बहुत से मैंने कॉम्पोजिशन सुने पर ये अपना कंपोज किया है तो कुछ गड़बड़ हुई तो प्लीज़ माफ़ कीजिएगा. पंजाबी हूँ बट फिर भी दिल्ली वाला हूँ. गगन में थाल, गगन में थाल, रव चंद दीपक बने तारका मंडल जनक मोती. धूप मलयान लो पवन चवरों करे, सगल बन राय फूलंत ज्योति. सहस तब नैन नैन है तो ही को सहस मूरत नना एक तो ही. सहस पद विमलन एक पद, गंध बिनु सहस तब गंध चलत मोही. सब महजोत जोत है सोई, इसके चानन सब महजोती होई। गुर साखी जोत प्रगट होई, ज्योति सुभावे सो आरती होई। हरि चरण कमल मकरंद लोभे, मनोवंदिनो मोहियाहि पियासा। कृपा जल देह नानक सारिं, कऊ हुई जाते तेरे नामी वासा। Thank you.
The most important and yet not properly appreciated fact about the Bhakti movement is that whether it is Guru Nanak Dev Ji or it is Kabir Ji or it is Ravidas Ji or Mirabai, Andal, Akka Mahadevi, whosoever, they all were unique in their own ways, in their creative imagination, in the impact they created in the society. They all were unique, but none of them was alone. None of them was a historical accident. They were products of their time. They actually represented the creative manifestation of Indian genius at that particular moment in history. And if you really want to appreciate the whole dynamics of Indian genius, you have to come out of the lure of Sanskrit and Persian. I have great respect for Sanskrit, know a little bit of it, and am learning Persian these days. But the fact remains that creative and intellectual genius of India is not confined to Sanskrit. Nanak Dev never composed anything in Sanskrit. Kabir never composed anything in Sanskrit. Tulsidas was a great scholar of Sanskrit, so was Gyan Dev in Maharashtra, but they chose to compose in vernacular. It was not for a reason. It was not for a without a reason. It was for a reason. And the lesson for us is that knowing English, knowing Sanskrit, knowing Persian only adds to your intellectual achievements. But if you really want to understand a society and its crisis, its problems, its achievements, for God's sake, learn to speak that language. Learn to listen to that language. It could be India, it could be a part of India, it could be Saudi Arabia. So this is, for me, my work on Kabir and other Bhakti poets is actually a part of a larger and ambitious project of decolonizing world history. History was not created by West. West is only a part of history. World is not created by West. It's only a part of the world. It dominated the world through colonization and made a sanskar in people like us, in colonized people, as if all intellectual energy, all dynamism came from the West. People still believe that had Britishers not come, India would have remained a very static, very frozen society. Nothing like that. Frozen and static societies do not produce intellectual geniuses like Kabir and Nanak Dev. And yet we refuse to see it. The power of intellectual conditioning is so much that we refuse to see the fact that these poets were not freaks of history, they were not accidents of history, they were the natural product of their times. And the people who revered them, people have preserved their memories till today in the form of an organized system, in the form of personal memories. It's not a mere accident that if you go outside the English-speaking elite circle of India, I mean, this is quite possible that many of us do not remember a poem by Kabir or Tulsi or Meera, but you just speak to your Kamwali, she knows at least 2 or 3 Kabir by heart. And you should respect her for that. As much as she should respect for you knowing the language of the power that is English. But you should also learn to respect her for speaking and knowing the language of the people who were colonized for no fault of theirs, that is Hindi, Marwari, Punjabi, Gujarati or whatever. The emotion which we witness in this magnificent arti has many forms. We are going to sing another song just now in which you see this almost impossible attempt. But the human being is human being because it goes on doing the impossible things, turning impossible things into possible. I mean, 50 years ago, could I have ever imagined that I would be talking face to face in real time with my son who lives in USA? If I had written this in 50 years, it would qualify as science fiction. Today, it would qualify as the third-rate newspaper report. So this is the power of human mind and human imagination. And it works at various levels. So we have another song here, where there is an attempt, there is an imagination of trying to go beyond the binaries of every kind. The spirit of associating with the universal consciousness and also recognizing that the universe also consists of binaries. There is black and there is white, there is day and there is night, and there is good and there is bad. And yet, is there a possibility of going beyond all these binaries? Let us listen to a very moving, profound song by Ravi Das ji.
का गाऊं कछु गाए न होई, का गाऊं कछु गाए न होई, गाऊं रूप सहजे सोई, गाऊं रूप सहजे सोई। नहीं अब राम कृष्ण गुण भाई बोलत हैं सुच छंदा, नहीं आकाश घर धरणी पवनपुर घट चंदा। नहीं अब वेद किताब कुरानी, नहीं अब वेद किताब कुरानी सुनी सहज रे भाई। नहीं अब मैं ते नाही कासो कहो बताई, भणे रैदास काही गाऊं गायण हराणा, भणे रैदास का कही गाऊं गायण गाई हराणा। समझी बिचारी बोली कहाँ धो आप ही आप समाना, समझी बिचारी बोली कहाँ धो आप ही आप समाना। का गाऊं कछु गाय न होई, का गाऊं कछु गाय न होई, गाऊं रूप सहजे सोई।
These poets transformed the technical terms into poetic terms. Sahaj, those days, was a technical term. It denoted the Sahajyani sadhana, Tantra sadhana, which in its own way was trying to make people realize the spiritual potential or whatever. But it had lot of, how to put it, controversial elements. I won't like to go beyond that, otherwise I might be presented to National Commission of Herd Sentiments. So, जिसको कहते हैं समझने वाले समझ गए. So, these poets transform that kind of technical terminology like Sahaj, Nath, Hari, Khasam into poetic terminology. So, this is the indication of that Sahaj. And this realization of Sahaj, or this attempt to realize Sahaj, naturally gives a certain level of defiance also. We all know the bluntness of Kabir. Kabir is bluntly defiant of anything which he does not like. But there are various levels of this defiance. There is a very polite defiance also. Mirabai is known for politeness of her voice, but at the same time, a defiance, a playful defiance, almost a dancing defiance, that I have realized something and I want to live my life in accordance with that realization. And of course, people do not like it. I get scandalized. बदनामी होती है, but well, मुझे बदनामी मीठी लगती है. I can't help it, Rana ji. I'm sorry. मने बदनामी लागे मीठी. Listen to this.
मणे बदनामी लागे मीठी राणा जी, मणे बदनामी लागे मीठी, मणे बदनामी लागे मीठी राणा जी, मणे बदनामी लागे मीठी. कोई निंदो कोई बिंदो, चालूंगी चाल अनूठी, सांकड़ी गली में सतगुरु मिलया, क्यों कर फिरूं अपूठी. मणे बदनामी लागे मीठी राणा जी, मणे बदनामी लागे मीठी. सतगुरु जी सु बात ज करता, दुर्जन लोगन दीठी. मीरा के प्रभु गिरधर नागर, दुर्जन जलो जांगी थी, दुर्जन जलो जांगी थी, दुर्जन जलो जांगी थी. मणे बदनामी लागे मीठी राणा जी, मणे बदनामी लागे मीठी, मणे बदनामी लागे मीठी, मणे बदनामी लागे मीठी, मणे बदनामी लागे मीठी.
As a student of literature, I also notice कि अगर यही कविता किसी मर्द ने लिखी होती तो आखिर में होता भाड़ में जा. औरत ने लिखी है तो है अंगीठी में पड़. दुर्जन जलो जा अंगीठी, आई एम लीस्ट बॉदर्ड. जो दुर्जन मेरी बदनामी करते हैं वो जाके अंगीठी में पड़े मेरी बला से. So this was Mirabai. Now coming back to Kabir. Only recently I was speaking to a group of students in Delhi, and one of them asked me that, sir, I have great respect for Kabir and great respect for your scholarship, etc., etc. But please tell me, I am a student of engineering. I look forward a career in management or engineering or civil services or whatever. Why the hell should I waste my time in reading Kabir seriously? That was a very important question and a very valid question. I responded him saying that, well, you should read Kabir because he works as a very important antidote to stupidity. It's important. And stupidity, my dear friends, is not a laughing matter. There was a German priest in 1945. He was executed by you know whom, because he was a pacifist. He was a sharp critic of ultra-nationalist politics of a certain individual, and he was an admirer of Gandhiji. So this man was executed in 1945. And before execution, he wrote some comments, some notes in his prison cell, who were fortunately smuggled out and were later published in a collection titled On Stupidity. And I'm reading out a paragraph from that collection. This was Dietrich Bonhoeffer, and he writes, and listen to this very carefully. Having thus become a mindless tool, the stupid person will also be capable of doing any evil, and at the same time incapable of seeing that it is evil. This is where the danger of diabolical misuse lurks, for it is this that can and for all destroy human being. When you lose the sense of good and bad, good and evil, and you are not even aware of that loss, When you think evil is good, good is evil, then Bonhoeffer was not far from truth when he was saying that it can lead to utter and ultimate destruction of humanity as such. This was 1945, and in 2023, unfortunately, we have not moved far away from his dark prophecy, but quite close to it. Stupidity has become a virtue. Being intellectual has become almost an anti-social or anti-national act. I am challenged quite often. आप हैं साहब पढ़े लिखे तो हम क्या करें? तो मैं विनम्रता से कहता हूं कि बस पीटिए मत, इतनी कृपा कीजिए, बाकी तो आपको क्या करना है। मतलब पढ़ा लिखा हूं, स्कॉलर हूं, प्रोफेसर हूं, जिंदगी भर पढ़ता पढ़ाता रहा हूं, ये बड़ा अपराध मैंने किया है, तो आपसे यही विनती कर सकता हूं कि कृपा करें, बख्श दें मेहरबानी करके। वी हैव कम टू दिस सिचुएशन, and therefore I request you, do not laugh when somebody mentions stupidity as a crisis point. It's a real crisis. And people like Kabir are really important resource, are important antidote to that virus of stupidity, which is much more dangerous than the coronavirus. Also, it's important in this context, it's also very easy to become a blind follower of Kabir or anybody. One should not become a blind follower of Kabir. Kabir or anybody who you like should be taken while keeping your critical judgment, your critical assessment, to use Kabir's own word, your vivek, intact. वैष्णव भया तो क्या भया, बूझा नहीं बवेक. You are nothing to me, whether you claim to be a Vaishnava or you claim to be a Hindu or Muslim, whosoever. If you do not have a sense of discrimination, if you do not have certain discretion, if you cannot make necessary distinctions, then to me you mean nothing. And therefore, with this, Kabir could talk bluntly. And he could tell people, and his words resonate to us also. It's very easy to read or listen to Kabir as if he is talking of only Maulanas and Pandits. I keep reminding myself constantly that, sir, Kabir is also talking about professors. He is not only talking about Maulanas of Masjid and Pandits of Pathshalas, he is also talking of professors of JNU or DU or whatever. So, Sadho dekho jag borana. We have all heard this. But once more we should try to recall that what forms of stupidity have gripped us and how happily we are living with those forms of stupidity, making them our second nature, in fact first nature.
साधो देखत जग बौराना, साधो देखत जग बौराना, साच कहूँ तो मारन धावे, साच कहूँ तो मारन धावे, झूठे जगपतियाना हो, झूठे जगपतियाना। बहु तक देखा पीर औलिया, पढ़े किताब घर घर मंत्र देत फिरत है महिमा के अभिमाना। गुरु के सहित शिष्य सब बूढ़े अंत काल पछताना। कहे कबीरा कहे कबीरा सुनो भाई साधो ई सब भरम भुलाना। केतिक कहो कहा नहीं माने सहजे सहज समाना। सहजे सहज समाना। साधो देखत जग बाराना। साधो देखत जग बाराना। साच कहूँ तो मारन धावे। साच कहूँ तो मारन धावे। झूठे जगपति आना। हो झूठे जगपति आना। साधो देखत जग बाराना।
Kabir's poetry and whatever we know little about his life through legends and records like Anantadas also underline another important point, and that is, it is not a precondition of being profound to constantly remain mock serious. यानी मैं अगर अपने लहजे में सही ढंग से कह सकूं तो गंभीर होने के लिए बुकरात रहने की ज़रूरत नहीं होती है. यू सी मैनी पीपल पर्टिकुलरली इन माई प्रोफेशन जिनको लगता है कि जब तक चेहरे पर एकदम घनघोर गंभीरता ना दिख रही हो. कबीर डिड नॉट बिलीव दैट. He knew that it's not at all important to remain constantly serious, frowning, to be profound. He knew that human being has many aspects and all aspects are important. He was quite a playful person, in fact. If you learn his life in legends, some of which I have mentioned in my book, he was quite a playful person. And the ultimate play or the ultimate trick he played was at his last moment, and he did it with his disciples. As the well-known legend goes, when he was about to die, his followers started fighting amongst themselves. There was one party which claimed that whatever he was, but he was born as a Muslim. He became disciple of Ramanand, he became Vaishnava, or he became independent of all religious traditions, but well, he was born a Muslim. So he must be given a burial in Muslim way. On the other hand, there was the group who claimed that whatever he was born as, but died as a Grasth Vaishnava Sadhu. So he will be cremated the Hindu way. There is no question of burial. They were fighting each other. They were at throat, and as the narratives tell us, swords were out and they were just ready to fight. Quite interestingly, what I find very interesting, that Kabir probably had kind of inkling of this in his own life. He could foresee this because he knew the human mind. So he could foresee this. In one of his poems in Bijak, he says, Hindu kahen हमें ले जारो, तुरक कहें मोर पीर. हिंदू कहते हैं कि हमें ले जाके जलाएंगे मुझे कबीर को, और तुर्क कहते हैं कि तुम्हारे पीर हैं. ये आप कैसे कर सकते हैं? हिंदू कहें हमें ले जारो, तुरक कहें मोर पीर. दो आए दीनन में झगड़े देखें हंस कबीर. मैं देख रहा हूँ दोनों मूर्ख आपस में लड़ रहे हैं. Look at the helplessness. I can't do anything. मैं देख रहा हूँ झगड़ रहे हैं. And as we know, he turned his body into a heap of flowers, half of which was buried and half of which was cremated. This legend is sometimes read as indicative of his failure. I do not read it that way. He did not fail. In fact, he realized, he foresaw that a dead body cannot be disposed of in a cavalier manner. It will be done with some ritual, with some way, certain way, and that ritual will start another religion. And Kabir knew that there are enough religion in the world, thank you very much. No need to another, to the group of those who want to claim a kind of monopoly on spiritual quest of human being. So it's better you are a Hindu, please be a Hindu, you are a Muslim, be a Muslim, you, whosoever you are, Christian, whatever. But try to live the content of true religiosity, that is a spiritually awakened life and a ethically conscious social conduct. It hardly matters कि आप मेरी बॉडी को जलाते हैं कि दफनाते हैं, लेकिन आप मानेंगे नहीं तो ये रहे फूल, 32 बोझ फूल मंगाया, 32 बोझ फूल मंगवाए, कहा आधे तुम बाबा जला लो, आधे तुम, हम चले. And as the legends goes, he left forever. So this failure, if we can call it, is a warning to us in 21st century. And the stupidity I mentioned to you is not a new problem. Centuries before Kabir, Bhartrhari, who unlike Kabir was a great king, a great scholar, one of the finest grammarians world has ever produced, in desperation said that one can explain things to one who is little ignorant. It's easy, and it's obviously very easier to explain things who knows or who is a scholar. But to explain things to someone who actually is an idiot and has the supreme confidence of being intelligent. Gyan lav durvidagd, that is the word used by Bhartrhari. तो भर्तृहरि कहते हैं कि उसको तो ब्रह्मा नहीं समझा सकते, मेरी क्या मजाल है. तम नरम ब्रह्मा अपि न रंजयति. So this problem persists. Unfortunately, in our times, it persists with new vigor and new glorification. As I told you, to be stupid is a badge of honor. To be skeptical, in fact, dismissive of intellectual pursuit, is a statement of power. And being an intellectual, being a scholar, is almost a dangerous activity. Because in my scholarly work, I am always afraid, I am constantly afraid these days. And therefore I make it a point to submit, and I am submitting to you now. Maybe my statements might have hurt some of your feelings. So please forgive me, and if you don't want to forgive me, you are free to hurt my feelings as much as you want. They are not that fragile. मेरी भावनाएं इतनी कोमल नहीं है. अगर कृपा कर सकें तो बॉडी को छोड़ दीजिएगा, वो कोमल है, भावनाएं कोमल नहीं है. So we are in these times when the names of God have been turned into war cries. And it's not new. Allahu Akbar, essentially a statement of greatness of God, or Jai Sri Ram, essentially a statement of tribute to a great manifestation of divinity. They have been turned into war cries. When somebody shouts Allahu Akbar, one feels frightened. When somebody shouts Jai Sri Ram, some other people feel frightened. These statements, these names, these admirations to divinity have been turned into war cry. And in such a moment, when one reads or listens to Kabir, who says that, well, I am the child of both. I am a child of Allah and I am a child of Ram. Kabir Pangda Alay Ram ka.
अल है राम जीऊं तेरे नाई, अल है राम जीऊं तेरे नाई। बंदे पर मिहिर कर मेरे साई, अल हरे राम। जीऊं तेरे नाई, अल हरे राम। जीऊं तेरे नाई। क्या ले माटी भूई सुमारे, क्या जल देह नहवाए। जोर करे मस्कीन सताव, गुण ही रहे छिपाए। क्या उजू जप मंजन किए, क्या मसीती सिर नाए। रोजा करे निमाज गुजारे, क्या हज पावे जाए। अल हरे राम। जीऊं तेरे नाई, अल हरे राम। जीऊं तेरे नाई। बंदे पर मिहिर कर मेरे साई, अल हरे राम। जीऊं तेरे नाई। पूर्व दिशा हरि का वास, पश्चिम अल हम कामा। दिल ही खोजी दिल दिल भीतर, यहाँ राम रही माना। जे तू औरती मर्दा कहिए, सब में रूप तुम्हारा। कबीरा पंगुड़ा अल हराम का, हरि गुर पीर हमारा। अल हरे राम। जीऊं तेरे नाई, अल हरे राम। जीऊं तेरे नाई। बंदे पर मिहिर कर मेरे साई, अल हरे राम। जीऊं तेरे नाई, अल हरे राम। जीऊं तेरे नाई।
So when you have that feeling, when you cultivate that feeling, when you make it your sanskar, and when you know that sun and moon can also be seen as lamps of Aarti, and when you have the courage, fortitude to pay the price, when you are able to bear the scandals and guts to tell people ke jao bhad mein, I will live my way, then of course it's not for people like me or I don't know, but then of course a person like Kabir can say, कबीर मन निर्मल भया जैसे गंगा नीर, पाछे लागा हरि फिरे कहत कबीर कबीर। मैं ये नहीं कहता राम राम या हरि हरि और मैं उसके पीछे नहीं जाता, वो मेरे पीछे कबीर कबीर कहता आता है। कबीर मन निर्मल भया जैसा गंगा नीर, पाछे लागा हरि फिरे कहत कबीर कबीर। We have made tremendous achievements in civilization, in technology, in knowledge, and yet I think with all our magnificent achievements of knowledge, we can still learn couple of things from that supposedly illiterate, certainly ignorant of Sanskrit and Persian scholarship weaver from Banaras. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
May I just request if we have some time for a couple of moments if we have. Not for speaking, I don't want to speak anymore. I seriously request all of us, just let us sit in silence for just 1 minute or 2 minutes and try to practice serious reflection on the things which these people have been trying to tell us for centuries. I have spoken a lot. I am a professor My students and my wife are sick of my constant speaking. So are many friends. So that's not important. My speaking or not speaking is not important. His singing or not singing is really not important. What is important, that are we willing to listen to someone within us and in some kind of silence from outside. Thank you very much.